Hello everyone, it's April 8th and I thought I would do an update on our winter. It's been quite an adventure in our first winter here and lots of learning. So overall, it was just not sunny. We had months where we hardly get any sun and we had a lot of snow. So the snow would be accumulating on the roof and not melting. If it did melt, it would melt enough to come off. A lot of times it would just get some ice on there. So I'm going to go to the outside after and I'll show you kind of some damage that happened from that. And just overall, just not keeping that greenhouse quite warm enough because we didn't get enough sunny days. So that started in November and December, January, just it was just nasty. So our goal was to help things survive, to get through. Now, some things are just fantastic. We have some aloe here that's already starting to get a flower on it. The cacti, and that's doing fine. Of course, dill, it's pretty hardy. I've got lots of pots of bulbs, and they're coming up now. So I put the bulbs in, let's see, middle of March. So those are some calla lilies. Those are doing great. The fig, we cut right back. Actually, cut some of these. These are actually fresh stems on a lot of these. All the leaves, some of the stems, because of black mold. So that's the other problem without a lot of sun. And we tried not to water too much in here, but still you'd get condensation on the polycarbonate, and it's just overall quite moist in here. So the black mold started. So we cut back a lot of that, and just washing the windows. I didn't use a bleach, but we were also getting some issues with aphids at first, and then gnats. So I would use a little bit of insecticidal soap when I was washing the mold off the windows and that kind of thing. Also, a little bit of mosquito dunks for gnats. So I would put the mosquito dunk in a watering can and then just water from that when needed. So that would be the potted plants. Now, I tried to do lettuce quite a few times and the gnats would just eat it just right up. It was terrible. I tried to cover it, but now they're coming. So I think they're just a little bit more sun, a little bit more warmth, and it's helping them to get over the gnats. The other issue was we had some compost bins in here as a thermal battery to help retain heat, and the gnats were just, making lots of babies in there. So we got rid of those just a couple weeks ago. I got rid of those too, and so and then putting a couple mason jars with vinegar and this dish soap in it to try and catch the gnats like you would in the house. So that's all helped to sort of decrease the gnats quite a bit, and then the plants are starting to recover from that. Beans are a little hardier, they grow a little faster. They were still stunted by the gnats, but they were able to push through on that. Zucchini also did okay. We lost a couple because we had some slugs in the ground, which I caught a lot with beer traps. Try to do things naturally as possible and not get insecticidal kind of stuff, pesticides in here. The banana plants cut way back because of the black mold and a lot of dead leaves, but they're starting to come up now. And again, we were really just trying to have things survive, not necessarily thrive. And the dragon fruit, a little bit of growth there. So things are happening. It's April 8th. We're starting to get more sun. It's still cold. We've got -8 today in the morning, a hard frost outside, but it's 11 degrees in here right now, and the sun is just starting to come. When the sun is full in the afternoon, it gets 30 pretty quickly, so it's starting to heat up. So those tubes on the side, those are you can kind of see the outside where it's a curved candy cane look. They take intake of air, and then the little extension of that is inside the greenhouse with a black cap on it. So I can remove that black cap, and then its indirect airflow comes into the greenhouse. And that's really helpful because it can get really hot, even when it's -20 outside. If the sun comes out and it's strong, it can get close to 40 in no time. So we do have to monitor the heat in the winter time. Okay, so a lot of stuff is coming back. The mandarins were very moldy. I had to cut that a lot, so there's a lot of new growth on that. Things like rutabaga, they're in the back corner against the wall there. In the front, against the windows. We do that instead of potatoes for dietary issues, but of course they're a cool crop, so they'll do well. We still just had to watch for gnats and aphids at first, stuff like that. What else do we have here? The lots of calla lilies, because I had tons of bulbs and I'm just getting them started, so they're everywhere. And then some seedlings. Again, the seedlings were struggling because of the gnats. Oh my goodness, they're terrible. Beets are pretty hardy, so we have lots of beets. They seem to be able to handle the gnats. I had some lavender I wanted to start, and it's just struggling with those gnats. I don't know why they like them so much. Here's some here that are just, and when I look closely, the gnats are just crawling everywhere. Poor little lavender. Anyway, we'll do some more. It's the good thing about starting with seed. It's not a huge cost loss. You just have a learning process thinking about when you're going to plant them and what you're going to do. Dill's hardy, rosemary's hardy. Actually, the olive tree is doing really well. It's just tons of new growth. Didn't struggle too much with mold. The avocado struggled quite a bit with mold. We had to cut a lot back. We've got 2 different varieties doing a lot better. Lots of new growth. Tons of flowers. I had to pinch a lot of the flowers off. We're going to keep a couple just to see. The lemon and lime trees are doing really, really well. Really coming out now, getting some flowers. What else? Pineapple, hopefully they'll pick up now that the weather's going to get a little bit warmer, but they're still surviving. And we put them in the ground to try and get a bigger fruit out of them. And what else? We did buy some grow lights. There's 4 grow lights suspended, and that's, again, it was just not enough sun. Things were struggling a bit too much, so we would put them on strategically when it was overcast day, and for a while they were on every day, and we'd turn them off at night. And we did have some space heaters, a couple of space heaters, nothing crazy, but we actually are going to look at heating a bit more for the future, just as an option. We're just not getting enough sun, and we, can like to have a little bit more growth of things that we can eat through the winter, like, to be able to grow lettuce and just have a little bit less worry about mold and the cold. Anything else to talk about? I'm going to show you outside with some of the damage that was done from the snow. Okay, so we're outside. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and we still have that hard frost from last night. Just up and down weather. So here's the indirect cooling system we have set up with the white tubes. They had the top extension was glued down, so we were unable to sort of move a lot of them. But some of them we were able to tilt towards the wall so they didn't stick out. Now, that's a much better idea, because when the snow collects on the roof and then ice forms because it doesn't quite melt, and then eventually this huge slab just flies off because you get a sunny day, well, it lands on these white tubes. So it broke them. We had to put pails on a couple that we were unable to fix. We have to replace them just to keep any moisture from coming down into the tube and freezing up in there. And some of them we weren't able to turn to the side, but to the side is better if you do install these so that they, especially if you don't have an overhang, so it's protected from that snow falling. But they are really great on those hot days to let some indirect cool in. You don't want to have to open a window or something big, because that would shock the plants. So they are a nice feature. But yeah, that was very sad. Those days when that snow came off. Love seeing that snow come off. Oh, it's very satisfying, but it pulls off your trim on. It's just really powerful. So hopefully you're enjoying your spring and recovering from your winter. And it's always an adventure. Talk to you soon.